Paying your property taxes. Nobody likes to do them, but I'm going to show you how I just saved myself $8,000 in a single day by going up to the county, and this is what I said. Let's dive into it.
Welcome to the Smack Fest, the beat down. The SWAT team is here on another beautiful day of shutting the week down.
Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, my name is William Dauria. I'm a full-time real estate investor. I left my 9-to-5 permanently at 32 years old. This channel is all about showing you how you can do the same through the power of real estate investing for rental properties. So we're going to start off with, I've got a handful of properties here. I'm going to show you what they wanted, what I ended up getting them down to, and how. First off, I got all of my comps. I went on redfin.com and I actually typed in, I didn't type in the address, okay? I just typed in the street name, I typed in the city and the zip code, and that kind of showed me with a pin the street name, because I don't care about my address. I just want to know the street, and I was able to draw a circle around that, and then I was able to click under sale comps. Okay, sold comps, okay? Because normally they're going to show you obviously what's for sale on the market right now. So you're going to click on the sold comps, and then you can go back 6 months or even 12 months, and then you can kind of look and see what is sold, and then you can compare them to yours, and then you print that, you attach it to the back, you bring it to them, and then you have your proof for contesting. So for the very first one, it was, now this is appraisal values. These aren't necessarily actual market values, okay? So the appraisal value on this property was $65,000 last year. This year they wanted to bring it to 82. Pretty big jump in 1 year. I was able to do it to get it down to 75,000, which is basically splitting in the middle. This is how, okay? I showed them the sales comp of a house that was about 3 down the street sold for $15,000. Now this house was in terrible shape. Water was pouring in every time it rained. I mean, it was in rough shape, but nevertheless, it sold for $15,000. It went on the market from a wholesaler to $45,000. Nevertheless, it was a great sale comp because I was like, hey, look, that house is worth 45 grand. Let me prove it to you. And I did. So also, that house was even bigger than mine, right? So my house is the smallest on the street. And this kind of street isn't as clean as the bigger streets because I'm like an off street, you know? So I was able to say, look, you know, this particular street isn't as nice as these streets, which are the comps. Also, I've got no garages. Those comps have garages. And I basically was like, look, you know, this area is a little bit rougher than, you know, the major streets that are passing it by, which all my comps are on, moving on. And I want you to listen through all these because I'm going to show you, or I want to tell you kind of what I did so it gives you an idea and an example of how you want to angle it, because you can most likely find comps that they'll agree with if you look at it at different angles. For instance, if all you can find are $200,000 comps and you know your property is only worth $150, well, look what they have and look what you don't have. As far as amenities, like do you have a carport? Do you have a garage? Is your driveway 2 wide? Is it 1 wide? You know, is it a corner lot? You know what I mean? Okay, so the next one, they went from $95,000 on appraisal value to $135,000. This is what they want to do. That's over 30% in 1 year, guys. Like, I'm not a math genius, but that is a lot in 1 year. Oh, in the previous year, they went up another 30%, by the way. Okay, so this one, though, this one is in an up-and-coming neighborhood. Okay, so all the houses that are being built are all brand new. All the existing houses from like when the Wizard of Oz was made, okay? It's one of those neighborhoods. They're actively knocking these things down. And then mine is like a 2004 brick home. Like, it really is like out of place. Like, it's a brick home like the newer builds, but it's not a newer build. Like, I have an original roof. It's in good shape, but it's an original roof. I don't have a fenced backyard, okay? So that's a big one. The floor, I made sure, this is important, guys. Make sure if your property has any defects versus the comps, like new builds, for instance, that don't have any defects, obviously, that you bring those up to them. For instance, the previous tenant had turned on their washer before they went to work, and it flooded my brand new floors. I just put floors in there. Flooded the brand new floors. Of course, they deny everything, and that's a whole different story, okay? They did $10,000 worth of damage. All the floors, they were laminate, not vinyl. And the laminate is like a really fancy cardboard, okay? And when it gets wet, it separates. And they will never re-click. because, well, what happens when cardboard gets wet? It becomes useless, mushy garbage. Okay, so the floor's separated, you know, from them walking around and stuff, and basically they're trash now. Now, luckily, I was able to I listed it for rent to try to get people interested in it, and it rented immediately before I could even fix the floors. So I went in right before the tenants moved in. I took all the pictures of the floors, how bad they were, showed him at the tax office, look, my floors are destroyed. They need all kinds of work. Look, there's a little crack in the wall, that kind of stuff, right? And I was showing him that those comps that he was getting aren't my real comps. This is why. I've got destroyed floors. I've got an original roof. I don't have a backyard. You know, I'm pointing out everything that's, you know, that's negative slash not what all the other comps are having, I don't have. And I can prove it with pictures and all the other stuff. Now, what they'll do is on the computer, they'll look it up because they have no idea what the address and what it looks like. They'll actually look it up and they'll see it on like a Google search, and they'll be able to kind of go around the house and kind of see, you know, the outside view of it for the most part. So make sure that you're not lying to them, because I would never tell you to lie to anybody, nor did I. Just point out the obvious stuff that they're not going to know. Like, they're not going to know the roof age. I had to tell them it's an original 2004 roof. You know, that makes a difference because the comps, well, all have brand new roofs. So I was able to bring that from, it was from 95 to, they wanted to 135. So 95 to 135. I was able to give them to 120 on that one. Now this is based off of appraisal, okay? So 120,000. And the reason, guys, if you guys are a little confused, is I want my appraisals to be as low as possible so my taxable value is as little as possible so I can cash flow more. Okay, that's the point. When I go to sell the property, of course I want more than 120. I'm going to list it at what I think it will sell for, but I'm going to get my appraisals as low as I can so I can cash flow the best. Now, do I think it'll sell for more than 120? You can throw it out there whatever you want. That's not really the point, though. Could it sell for more? Yes. Could it sell for less? Maybe. But nevertheless, I have a leg to stand on when it comes to looking at these comps, and that's why you want to fight your appraisals down as much as possible. All right, so the next one, they want to go from 90,000 to 136. Talk about a trend, right? So on this property, okay, all the comps, every comp in this neighborhood has carports and dual car garages. I don't have either. I don't have a carport or dual car garage on this particular property. All these are in one city, by the way. I was able to go to one place and talk to two people. One was a commercial guy, and then another guy for all the rest of my properties. So the whole meeting took maybe 45 minutes for everything. Okay, it was really easy. So on this particular one, I was able to show I don't have garages, I don't have carports, I don't have a dual driveway. And matter of fact, the comp that he brought me was a huge corner lot, right? We all know that land is valuable. I have a smaller middle lot, so that's how I was able to get it from the 136,000 to 120,000 on this particular one. And the next one went from 75,000 last year to they wanted 87,500 now. This was a rough one. I could only get them down a couple thousand, which isn't a whole lot of savings, okay? I was able to get them down to 84,000 mainly because all the sales comps on this entire neighborhood were like $150,000. And I had to basically tell him, you know, because he was showing me the sales comps, and one of them had like those really nice barn doors that slide and, you know, all those nice interior fixtures. I was telling him my house is a rental property. It's got, you know, basic, well, not this stuff, but it's got basic, you know, countertops. It's got basic everything, you know. If I were to get 150, I could if I spent money on rehab to get it to that level. And that was kind of my pitch on that property. So this one was my roughest one. They only came down, what, $3,500, which isn't a lot of savings. But the point is, I was able to get down on every single one of these. This one, I can't even fight it. I can't, guys. It went from 88 to 86. But I used this one right here to help me get lower on this one because there were stone throws away from each other. If I mowed the lawn, I could walk the lawnmower across the street to my other property. That property went up in value, but this one went down in value. So I was kind of using their own little system against them on that one because, well, you're saying that property that I can see right there goes down, but this one's going up. You know what I mean? Different street, but they were like catty corner to each other. So it was like, I used that a little bit against them, and it worked. All right, so the next one's a duplex. All right, multifamily, 1 through 4 properties is considered small multifamily. And here's the thing: all the comps are single family, every single one of them. And then I also told them this: that the single family neighborhood area that is adjourned to this is much cleaner. The pride of ownership is much better than this whole strip of duplexes, which mine's at the very end. This whole strip of duplexes doesn't have the pride of ownership as high as the single family homes. It's basically, a block of renters versus a block of homeowners. You can imagine that the homeowners generally are going to keep their lawn a little bit more short. The basketball goals aren't going to be hanging in the street generally, etc., etc. So I was able to say, what comps on duplexes are you showing? Because I know there wasn't any sales comps because I just looked it up. And he told me, I've got nothing. What's your opinion of value? I like those words. So you always want to start low and you can work your way up. They wanted to go from $179,000 to $2,039. Big jump, guys. Big jump. That's like $25,000 jump in 1 year. So I was able to go from $179 to $185. I agreed. Prices are going up. I agree with that. Okay. I just don't want to see them go up like that because I don't agree with that. And with no sales comps, we're kind of having a little bit of a fight with the facts. Because if you can't bring me sales comps and you can't show me, duplexes are bringing whatever, that was my pitch and it worked on that. Last one was commercial property. I won't beat on this too long. They want to go from $425 to $540. I was able to give them at $453. Same thing, guys. Zero comps. Zero comps. There's no comps at all. And when you get something and this is a very unique property too. So when you get a unique property, comps can be very difficult to find, which is bad when it comes to appraisals, like official bank appraisal. But when it comes to like the appraised value and your yearly annual taxes, you can use that to your advantage because, well, you can say, what comps are you showing? And then they're going to be like, well, we have a gas station. I'm like, but I'm not a gas station. And we have this. And I'm like, but mine has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Basically, it's like, well, what's your opinion of value at that point? And then you can come in and you can kind of negotiate that to a realistic / reasonable rate. Guys, that's what I do every single year on every one of my properties. I would say it took me maybe 30 or 40 minutes worth of work to get prepared to actually go in there. And I was in there for 45 minutes, and with my drive time, took me a couple hours total. It's easy. You need to be a little bit willing to talk with people. So if you're really, really shy and you're not good with talking to people, it might be worth considering hiring this out to somebody. But do fight them every single year on this, guys. It's only to your advantage. Guys, hope you got some good information out of this video. Like, subscribe, let me know what you think about it. Until the next one, I will see you then.